right, Mr. Short, I got your motion in limine. Is that anticipate that coming in today, right? You're just getting a jump on things, which I applaud.
Well, thank you. The it may come up in my cross, Mr. Copeland.
Okay. And it hasn't already been admitted, right?
No, it hasn't.
Okay. And we discussed it a little bit before.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I tried to argue 403 about it, and Your Honor did not agree with me. And so I know it's coming in.
Right.
The issue is
That date.
we're assuming that date, and that date, it says that date on the printout, but
Which is not anything like what it looked in the original, right? That looks like it's just added on there. Or let's find out.
I'd be speculating.
Okay.
I didn't see this January.
So there's the picture or the post is attached, and there's this kind of weird little thing floating over the post on the right border. Yeah.
If I could clarify, my issue is everyone's been telling me that was posted on January 10th, 2015. The state has been operating on the assumption that that is a fact, and I don't.
It hasn't been established.
Yeah, I don't understand how this has been established as a
All right,
fact.
well, we'll hear from this whole- You want to just look at my copy? Okay.
We're double checking, but my understanding is Quindarius Zachary, I believe in his interview, says that he took this picture and that the picture was taken prior to January 10th. It may have been posted on January 10th.
That's not the issue, is when the picture was taken. The post has this date hovering on it.
Correct.
That's his issue.
Right. So as far as the January 10th, I think there's an explanation as to why the January 10th is there. So if it's to come out, there's an explanation for the January 10th.
Okay, so a couple of different things. Did the post ever look like this rendition, or do you have what you intend to submit? Let's start there.
At this time, we didn't intend to submit this picture into evidence. So
Okay, and what you intend to submit will have this little January 10th box covering?
you're right. We don't even know if we're going to plan on introducing this picture. So that's why I think he's doing it precautionary, but this is not a.
Okay.
Hold on.
Well, then I guess, Mr. Shart, you can use the post without the January 10th hovering over it. If you want to use it.
My cards face up on the table. It is. I may want to introduce it, but not if it's going to be otherwise inadmissible. And so
Okay.
I just don't. We've been proceeding like it's a fact that this is taken on January 10th. How do we know that?
So, with or without the
Or I'm sorry, not taken. The post.
posted, what's your basis for asserting that it is posted on January 10th?
I don't know when we've asserted that in trial. This is a picture that we served. It has the January 10th date on it. I don't believe I have ever communicated that we believe or disbelieve that this was taken on January 10th. I think our understanding, I'm just confirming, is that we believe the picture itself was taken prior to the 10th. It might have been
I
posted,
understand.
but whether or not it was on January 10th or how this date arises.
Okay, well, number one, you need to figure out why that January 10th is on there. And number two, if it wasn't posted on January 10th, what's the relevance?
We agree, and that's something that if we decided to enter, we would have determined that. I don't know if this is the picture that we were going to enter, so it's, the voluminous amount of information. I don't know if this is a picture.
Right, because y'all haven't exactly organized your case yet. All right, Mr. Short, they don't know whether they're gonna use it or not. And they don't seem to, it would not at this point be admissible, but I can't tell you it might be admissible at some other point when they get their case organized.
And you're not talking about the case not being, or it's about whether or not we were using this particular piece of evidence. Like there, we have a multiple of social media.
Right, well, you don't know whether you're using it and you don't know what whether it is because you don't know when it was posted. So we just don't know. So
Your Honor, in the previous motion, the state asserted it was posted a couple hours after the killing of Donovan Thomas. So if that is not the case and they cannot assert that, I would ask that this post be deemed inadmissible because it has no relevance and
I'm not gonna deem it inadmissible because maybe at some point during their case, they'll come up with why they think that. Do you know what motion it was in? Maybe that'll help Ms. Hilton get to the source of,
it was argued in front of you.
yeah, I remember that.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what brought it up.
Maybe it was Ms. Love. I don't know. Maybe you need to speak with co-counsel.
Yes, I'm trying to, I believe we were going through the proposed exhibits upcoming and I brought that up, but
Yeah, you brought it up. I don't think we have gone through much social media yet. So I think you brought it up and they said, but I don't remember who the they was over there at the time. Okay, well, maybe check with Ms. Love. But I think it's gonna be several hours, if even today, before there's any cross-examination anyway. So maybe we'll know the answer by the time we get to the cross-examination portion of the case. Also, that reminds me that with regard to cross-examination, I know, Mr. Steele, you had at one point suggested an interest in cross-examining Mr. Copeland as to everything that went on during the ex parte. And some of that is no longer relevant. So anything, I mean, if you want to cross about things that the state said to him or that he said to the state, that's fine, but we have, I think, both circumvented and the whole coercion issue, and he has now been properly and correctly advised by this court and had the advice and counsel of 3 different attorneys that I know of. So that should no longer be an issue. And so that should no longer be relevant. So I would not permit examination or testimony about that. All right.
Well, of course it's okay because you are the honorable court. But I will make an attorney proffer
Okay.
because if you accept it, I could do with Mr. Copeland. But I respectfully disagree.
Okay.
Mr. Copeland on the 7th of June 2024 stated, and in my way I understand the law, he doesn't have a Fifth Amendment, but he refused to testify.
Correct.
And he used the Fifth Amendment as whatever his statement. He made it clear to me as a reader of the June 10th, 2024 ex parte meeting that he was not going to testify. He said in court, outside the presence of the jury, that he was pressured. Please check the record, Ms. Winfrey. If he didn't use that word, he used a similar word. He would never have testified except for that ex parte meeting where Judge Glanville pressured him as well as Ms. Hilton. So I believe that it does go to his state of mind while he started to testify. Your Honorable Court correctly, in my understanding of law, told him what is his options and how long he's looking in custody and told him, I believe the decision's his. The legal decision, though, will trigger you to have to exercise your discretion and hold him in contempt. So I believe that the jury gets to determine that information. In addition to that, Judge Glanville was with us since January 4th of 2023. This jury is all selected from the very first panel. To me, he was biased in front of the jury. I understand that what you said, that, no statement, I appreciate what you said. No statement made by the former court disparaging of lawyers should be considered, or whatever the words were. But there's also going to be a jury instruction that nothing that the court says is intimated an opinion. And I disagree in this case with that instruction. I'm going to object to that instruction. And I need the jurors to understand that Judge Glanville, I will make it clear. I will make it clear. I am excluding this honorable court. But Judge Glanville pressured him. And I will argue to the jury that Judge Glanville was biased. And that is admissible because it all happened in front of the jury. And from just Judge Glanville's demeanor, and I'm not here to hurt Judge Glanville. In fact, I like Judge Glanville. But I don't know what happened in this case, but I like him before this case. But the way he conducted himself to people in this courtroom, I've never really seen a judge do. So I want to ask Mr. Copeland, it is very important to me to explain that he was taken against his desire into Judge Glanville's chambers, that he was with Judge Glanville, Miss Hilton, his lawyer. I'll make it all perfect. If I don't, you can admonish me and the state can correct me, but I'm not here to snowball anybody. But to say that I can exclude statements of Judge Glanville and, most importantly, the conscious or subconsciousness of this witness, because I believe, and I've not spoken with him, Your Honor. I've not spoken with his lawyer about it. But I believe that Mr. Copeland will truthfully say that he believed that Judge Glanville and the state of Georgia are one. And that comes out when Judge Glanville specifically says, and I don't remember the transfer page right now, but it's something to the effect of, we need your testimony. There's no we. Nobody needs anybody's testimony. If he didn't want to testify, I've had witnesses tell me, I'm not testifying. We subpoena them and come to court. They're held in contempt. There's nothing that the judge can do because the judge can't give immunity, so they can't compel the person to do it. So the person invokes their Fifth Amendment and they just leave. That is unfortunate, but that's a reality. There is no we. So with all that being said, I'm making an attorney proffer that if you prevent me from doing that, and Judge Glanville prevented me already, I'm just telling you, he prevented me from cross-examining Agent Racy. He's an FBI agent on misstatements made by the prosecution. Knowing the prosecution, Ms. Hilton, knew that a gentleman who's the same last name as a court reporter entered an invalid, coerced guilty plea. Judge Glanville stopped me again from getting into the truth of that matter. It's never been corrected. The point I'm trying to make to you is that all came out in front of the jury. So yes, I am going to intend to do, I will follow your rule, obviously, but I intend to cross-examine Mr. Copeland, not only what was said by Ms. Hilton or was said by Judge Glanville. I will be respectful. I'm not here to, throw some odd names about Judge Glanville. I will just be very specific. And then if he doesn't answer my questions, I'm stuck with his answer of, I don't recall, or whatever has been going on in this courtroom. But I don't believe that you should limit the cross-examination. I didn't do that. All that to me, that was very hurtful to me. And I don't mean hurtful. I mean, it was offensive to our law. That's how I took that. And I know what you said about it. I know what Judge Krause said about it. I look at it totally differently. I've never had a judge do that. I've done a lot of appeals. I know you've done a lot. I've never read a judge do that. I've never seen a prosecutor do that. So I think that the jurors are entitled to know, and I think Mr. Williams, because he's the one who has to be good, gets sentenced if I lose. I think they're entitled to know what caused Mr. Copeland from the 7th to be locked up. The jurors saw that. They saw that. He was testifying. He answered maybe 3 questions, maybe 5. He said, I'm not testifying. He invoked his 5th. The jurors were sent out, and he was gone. Jurors come out and dismissed. He's just not there. We're on a long delay. I think that it is not irrelevant to this matter. I think it's more than relevant. I think it's probative. And this is the actual treatment by the former court and the current district attorneys of this case.
Okay, I understand your argument, and I am not making my ruling in any sort of an effort to protect Judge Glanville. I do not believe it is relevant to the issues for this jury to determine. With regard to whether Mr. Copeland's testimony between the 7th and the 10th was, I'm sorry, between the 10th and the 12th, was impacted by the ex parte on the 10th. I asked everybody, do we want to do the entirety of Mr. Copeland's testimony over? And everybody said, no, we want what got testified to between the 7th and the 12th at 3 p.m. So y'all had the opportunity to have it all done over, and you chose not to do that. You can ask him about the immunity and whether he'd be testifying without being ordered to. That's fine. But beyond that, the ins and outs of what happened in the ex parte with regard to whether there was a biased judge or not are, in this court's legal opinion, not relevant to these issues. And honestly, even the we need your testimony, Judge Glanville had made a determination that Mr. Copeland's testimony and compelling that testimony by an immunity grant was in the public's interest. And so the we there is Judge Glanville, or can very easily be understood to be Judge Glanville saying we the public, and not we, me, and the state. So I appreciate your proffer, but my ruling stands.
Can I just add to that then?
Sure.
So it's in the eyes, the mind, and the ears of Mr. Copeland, not a reader who can say, well, that's the public. In addition, Judge Glanville said to Mr. Copeland, on cross-examination, you are going to get tremendous cross-examination, and they know you better than we do. So they know what you did. The they, I would ask Mr. Copeland, is referring to Mr. Williams, Mr. Ryan, Mr. Nichols, Mr. Stillwell, Mr. Kendrick, and Mr. Huey. And that presumes guilt, because Mr. Williams does not know the reality that Mr. Copeland has done all this other things, like pull a gun on Mr. Watts that he admitted today, shot into a barber shop that he admitted to on the stand. These are outrageous conducts. For Judge Glanville to make that statement, yes, the jurors should hear about it and the effect of Mr. Copeland. And you are respectfully taking away the opportunity that we are all given. Judge Glanville did this to a witness who's currently testifying. And if you don't realize this, because this is, I know your first witness. This is a big witness. He has been spoken about the entire case. Eyes open on him. I said that Mr. Copeland killed Donovan Thomas. To remove this, I believe, is going to be under the analysis of, has to be harmless beyond a reasonable doubt, because it's a constitutional violation. So I'd ask you to listen to the remainder of the June 10th, 2015 statement, because he's going to talk about, he already has it. He can't understand, the transcript seems to be, in my opinion, fairly accurate, where he talks about Mr. Williams. And if he didn't testify, none of this comes in. I think the jury gets to know that and why he testified, and it was because Judge Glanville held hands with Miss Unlove and Miss Hilton, and they coerced this man to testify, pressure this man to testify, whatever his word would be. So I ask you to just, I understand your ruling. I'm going to follow your ruling. I hope I made a good attorney proffer on cross, but those are the topics I would go in. I would not go into. He also was, by the way, I have based on information, believe he wasn't fed and did not drink from Friday when he was held in custody until Monday when he's in that star chamber. So I think that goes to his frame of mind as well. So, and when I say he, I'm talking about Mr. Copeland. And he was put into a jail in DeKalb County where the system was down, at least that's what he was told. He couldn't contact a family member. So I think that all that adding up to make his determination that, yes, I think that it's a corrupt system and the judge and the DA were going to hold me for not only this trial, but who knows how long 26 people can dispose of it.
All right, well, that part we definitely dealt with. If he was not given, or you have reason to believe he was not given food or drink between Friday and Monday, that's something that certainly should have been raised in the coercion motions that several of you filed, because that might have impacted between the 10th and the 12th. But again, you all decided you wanted the testimony between the 10th and the 12th. And that was a strategic decision on your part because you believed that there were beneficial things that he said during that testimony. I think that advice that these defendants, through their attorneys, would vigorously cross-examine Mr. Copeland is correct and accurate advice, and that these defendants know him better than the state's attorneys know him, or anybody else, is not inaccurate as well. If you would like to, understanding the parameters of my ruling, provide some questions that you believe should appropriately be asked, I'm happy to consider those. And it may be that there are, I mean, you can absolutely, again, ask him about the immunity grant and even right now, whether he is only doing this because it's avoiding jail for him. That's fine. You can explore that completely. All right.
You say it to Mr. Shard all the time, and I always tell him, don't say okay, because it's like you're
Well,
waving. So no, it's not.
By which I mean, all right, do you understand? All right, do you accept my ruling? Because I know you will abide by it, but you do not agree with the correctness of it.
Yes, and then the last thing I'd like to say, if I may.
Yeah.
When the Honorable Court said that I didn't take up the opportunity to strike the entire testimony from June 10th to the 12th, that's the law. The law is until that motion is filed of recusal. So I'm following the law, and there were beneficial points. I mean, just read the transcript where he testified under pressure or not, but that is in the case. So I believe that I have a right to ask him about those days before you took over, before you gave him the proper admonitions and the correct law. So that's
Okay. Thank you. So that the record is clear, I am suggesting that obviously the law with regard to the timing, once a recusal motion has been granted, what you have to undo. Yes. What I'm saying is if you believed that there was coercion starting at some point earlier than that, based on a lack of food and drink or any kind of treatment like that, then that could have been brought up, and y'all chose not to bring that up or not to make that argument. And you all could have agreed to redo the entirety of the testimony, or you could have asked to redo the entirety of the testimony on the basis of it having been coerced, and I would have considered that.
well, at the time, I was following the court's order, which I didn't think I even needed an order, that I can cross-examine Mr. Copeland on everything that happened on the ex parte meeting. And that's when I made my ruling, or not ruling, sorry. That's when I said, I don't want it out. In addition to that, I didn't want it out because I want to cross-examine him on why he did it. It's part, why he testified from the 10th to the 12th. That's part of the case, and I think that it goes to the jurors. The jurors are entitled to know who the prosecutors are and who the judge was. And
That's,
goes to their bias, their interest in the case, and their motivation on how they are prosecuting this case. So,
okay, I don't think that any order that I issued led you to believe that you would be able to, well, it may have led you to believe, but I don't think it should have reasonably led you to believe that you would be able to explore anything about what Judge Glanville said or did during that ex parte.
I think that it was clear to me, whether you said it or not, the way I understand the rules, that that's a part of this case, that's a part of this witness, and it comes out on cross or direct examination. The prosecutors can sit here and say now, maybe they're going to do it. I have no reason to believe that they are or not. But Mr. Copeland, we had a misunderstanding on June 10th, and we had a meeting with the judge, and your lawyer was there the whole time. He could do all that as well. But I don't see handcuffing Mr. Williams' lawyer on cross-examination when it is a reality. Just like Mr. Copeland went out and spoke on a jail call and made statements about things. That's his state of mind at the time. It may be relevant. I think it's relevant. I think it's relevant that Judge Glanville did this and Miss Hilton did this.
You can ask about anything, Miss Hilton.
No, I understand you did not limit that, but you're limiting the way I heard you today. I have to almost excise Judge Glanville, and that's what I'm objecting.
All right. Yes, sir.
Just so I'm clear, with what the court just ruled, we can ask about things that Ms. Hilton said to Mr. Copeland during that ex parte meeting. We just can't label it ex parte. This is what I'm concerned with. There's a lot of confusion and I think misunderstanding of this immunity. I understand the order that was granting him use and derivative use immunity. However, Ms. Hilton articulated to Mr. Copeland in chambers much more than that. For instance, my understanding of law, and Your Honor, I know that you've dealt with these issues more than me, the statute of limitations is not what we normally think it to be. It's not from the date of the offense. It's told if there's no evidence of who committed the offense. That's one, the perpetrator has to be known. So Ms. Hilton said, for instance, we'll use the barbershop shooting. Ms. Hilton said, oh, all this stuff is older than 4 years, so you can never be prosecuted. That he could be prosecuted for the barbershop shooting.
But here's the
They would
thing,
just have to put a totally provision.
that's not relevant either, because it is not the fact that the statute of limitations may or may not have run that prevents the state from prosecuting him for something he wants to get on the stand and confess to. It is the grant of immunity that prevents that. So regardless of the correctness or incorrectness of statute of limitations comments, they cannot use anything he gets on the stand and confesses to because they granted him immunity, or the court has granted him immunity.
But in my mind, here's the difference. The state has made a deal with the, quote unquote, I'm not calling the man the devil, but that's the setting. And there's a difference between them saying, oh, we're giving you use and derivative use immunity versus them saying, we will absolutely not prosecute you. They have basically, I don't know if they checked with Rich Homie-Kwan's father, but they basically given this man carte blanche to never be prosecuted for anything he says. And if I was representing Kenneth Copeland later on, and they indicted him for something like this, I would say, y'all must be crazy. Y'all got in the back room and told this man, you guys are never prosecuting him. So they've done more than giving him use immunity. They've given him blanket immunity for everything. And that, to me, is fertile ground for impeachment and cross-examination. And then I think the jury needs to know they want Jeffrey Williams, they want Shannon Stillwell, they want these people so bad that they gave Mr. Copeland just full reign to run around Atlanta, do all these things, and as long as you get up on the stand, we're never going to prosecute you. And I think that's relevant.
Okay, well, they didn't give him full reign to go do things he hasn't done yet. So, I mean, let's not get too far afield with this.
Well,
You may explore any kind of interest he might have in testifying in a way that might be beneficial to the state, although I don't think that's happened anyway. Because you could explore bias. You're entitled to do that. But we're not going to, this is not a trial about how the state handled Mr. Copeland or how Judge Glanville handled Mr. Copeland. This is a trial about whether these defendants, whether the state can prove that these defendants committed the acts that they allege them to have committed. And if you want, again, you also, all of you all are welcome if you want to give me a list of questions that or that you believe should be able to be asked. I can look at them.
very well, Your Honor.
All right.
Go ahead.
I just want to raise something
Sure.
while you hopefully reconsider. And this was mostly, the prosecutors. I think Mr. Atkins, I was going to exclude him, but I think he did it too. They asked witnesses, to my knowledge, without any basis, well, you're testifying this way, but have you ever had to testify before in front of Mr. Williams? When you were giving your statements, was Mr. Williams present? And then they did it with everybody. Was Mr. Huey present?
Right.
And I've objected every time. And it's totally, that's a crime of witness intimidation without any evidence. It's just, and they say, no, I haven't testified at all, but I don't remember, or I told you something wrong, or I didn't say that to you. I want to do now and show what the state is doing to witnesses. And I'm telling you, Your Honor, when Mr. Zachary comes, and I brought this up earlier in a pretrial meeting, my understanding is that Ms. Love had him served, keeping Mr. Zachary served with a subpoena.
Okay.
It's a trial subpoena, from what I was told. Ricky Richardson was his lawyer at that time. Ms. Love ordered Mr. Zachary the day before to drive from Augusta, Georgia, miss his job, to her office because she said if he doesn't come, Judge Glanville will lock him up. There was no trial going on. This is 2023. We were doing jury selection. I heard about that, so I raised it to Judge Glanville. This is abuse of power. You don't order somebody to come to your office with the hammer of the judge going to lock you up. Judge Glanville said, put out your evidence. He gave me an opportunity. Everybody said they didn't want to testify, so I didn't call him back. Ricky Richards, I didn't call him back, so I forfeited the motion. But my point is to say that, somehow there's witness intimidation from Mr. Williams et al. I want to show what's really going on, and that ex parte meeting helps illustrate it. I will also ask Mr. Zachary, because I'm confident he'll know it was not attorney-client privilege because it didn't just come from Mr. Richardson. He told me you can also speak with Mr. Zachary with Mr. Richardson, and he'll tell you the same. That's all we spoke about coming to court. And he did come to the courthouse. I'm told that his father met him there too. This could be wrong because I'm not there. And then his father said, the law, there's no trial going on, my son's there. So that's what, there was no conversation.
Okay.
But my point is, this is not an isolated incident, and I'd like you to just allow the truth to flow. I'm not going to hurt Judge Glanville. I'm just going to state what was said. And it's really the impact, like you said, on Mr. Copeland.
All right. Thank you. Sure. Do you want to wait and see what Mr. Weinstein has to say first?
Briefly, Your Honor. The discussion this morning came up about Mr. Copeland being deprived of food and water at Rice Street, as well as conditions, other issues that happened at Rice Street between June 7th and June 10th. And I believe the court said, I may have misunderstood you, that several attorneys filed motions regarding the coercion of the chambers. Perhaps this is something that we should have brought up. I was completely unaware that that happened.
Well,
I-
it's not,
I
I'm
do-
sorry to interrupt, but I'm not sure it did happen. He has some reason he thinks it may have happened. He Mr. Stevens,
So-
but okay.
So I did not learn of this possibly happening then, let's put it that way, until I saw Mr. Copeland on social media this week. So this isn't something that I could have brought up regarding Judge Glanville and the coercion that took place. So if we do get further facts of that, I would like to bring that up with the court again, because it sounds like that could have influenced your decision on the coercion. Perhaps not, but I would like to bring it up in the future.
Thank you. Mr. Engelberger.
Yes, Judge, I'm a little late to the party, obviously. When we're talking about privileged communications, I understand there may have been a hearing about what was said to discuss between him and his other lawyer, but as it relates to any communications between my client and I as of August 12th August 13th of 2024, obviously, I would assume this court understands those would be off the table in cross-examination.
All right, as far as I know, there haven't been any hearings about anything that was communicated just between Mr. Copeland and either Ms. Bumpus or Mr. Melnick. There was a hearing about things that might have been said with Ms. Hilton present with Mr. Copeland and Ms. Bumpus. Yeah, certainly, I understand. Perfect. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
There's two very quick things that I just wanted to address. One, and normally I'd ask that the camera be turned off for this, but I think I was wrong yesterday about his statement about the shooting of Rich Homie Kwan's barbershop. I don't believe that came up yesterday in the statement. And I looked at the rest of the statement. I don't believe that topic comes up. So I know Your Honor asked me to send an email, and I'm just reporting back to the court on that.
All right.
And also, I just have a question. In the state's transcript with the redactions, there's some that are in red, some that they're in different colors, and I'm just asking as we review along what the significance of the different colors are so we can check to make sure
Okay.
everyone's on the same page in real time.
Yes, Your Honor. There's some that I put in different colors because I had a question about. Anything that's in yellow and red, we're going to exclude because that was something I had a question about, I think, based on things that have occurred in court. Those will be excluded.
Okay.
The only one that is in blue that I actually was going to bring up this morning, Your Honor, is page 202, line 14 through 20. We had previously discussed 14 to 20 when we first talked about redactions, I guess 2 weeks ago. This is the line in which Mr. Copeland says that he's aware that Shannon carries guns and carries it on him. If you stop him, he'll know that he has a gun. And I think at that point in time, Mr. Sharp brought up his objection based upon what we argued yesterday. And so the state wanted to know if we were permitted to now play that part given what occurred yesterday, given your order of ruling yesterday.
Okay, so are you asking what is my ruling about that, or what are you asking?
Basically, we intend to play it, and we just want to make sure that that's fine. Based upon your ruling yesterday, we intend to play that section. But that was one of the sections that we had a question on 2 weeks ago. We didn't address it
Yeah,
yesterday.
okay, all right, so that blue has been taken care of, and you do intend to play that
Yes, Your Honor.
based on my, okay.
Yes, and while we're on it, Your Honor, I did go back yesterday to see if there were any other portions that could be redacted to kind of move the video along.
That's wonderful.
And I
Thank
do
you.
have a few
Okay,
portions that the statement tends to redact. I just want to put it on the record.
Okay.
So first is page 165, line 3 through page 167, line 16.
All right, and I guess give the defendants
So it's gonna be
a
11,
chance to look at that and see if that's something they want in, or if it's just nothing anybody needs.
and the time, sure. It is him saying that he needed to pay for the light bill, and that's why him and Deshaun were getting into issues. He talks about the fact that the stolen items that were found in his house were taken from individuals who went outside, who went to go do a jug, which went to go do a robbery. And so that's why those items were in the house. And then the detectives questioning him about the fact that he gave his mother-in-law's car to these individuals and he didn't know what they intended to do. So,
Your Honor,
Yes.
we're gonna object to the redaction of that. I mean, that, and I understand why the state would want to redact. I mean, that's prime example of Mr. Copeland being caught with stolen goods in his house, in his car, and pushing the blame on others, which is
Alright.
exactly what he's doing
Okay,
here.
so they would want that in, I guess they would play it anyway, so do you wanna leave it in?
I'm gonna leave it.
Okay.
The next, Your Honor, is page 176, line 14 through page 181, line 3.
And what's the general topic of that?
He talks about a few things here. His second child's mother wanted child support. Talked about some medical things with her that he paid for.
Anybody care if that stays out?
And it's really talking about that relationship he has with his second child's mother.
That fine to excise for everybody?
176 line 14 through 181 line 176 line 14 through 181 line 3.
Your Honor, I think that those portions, I know we want to speed this up, but those portions give the full picture of Mr. Copeland. It's more, I'm the victim, these women are taking advantage of me.
Okay. She is indicating by nodding and scratching it off that she'll leave it in.
Next is page 193 line 1 through 194 line 21, which initially talks about Demekian being the reason that DB was killed, and then transitioning into when he gets bored at Deshaun's house, he'll leave, but that he hasn't been cheating on her, etc. 193 line 1 through 194 line 22.
Anybody want that in?
We agreed that that's
Okay,
pretty relevant.
Everybody's good with redacting that part.
And the last one that we have, Your Honor, I'm sorry, the last one that we have, Your Honor, is page 208, line 1 through page 211, line 10.
And the general topic is,
They're telling him he should move. They're telling him maybe he should go to Miami, not go to Miami, but go somewhere like North Carolina, Kansas. That he should start afresh and anew. And then he goes back into talking about the robbery that he was, what occurred leading up to why he was arrested on June 10th. Page 211, line 10. Okay.
you want that in?
Yes.
Okay, she'll leave, you'll leave that in? Okay, all right. How about you go do that while we bring Mr. Copeland and the jury in, but not recess for that?
Your Honor, can I do it too? Copy.
Okay, never mind. Let's all take a break
Okay, thanks.
quickly, please.
They taking a quick recess. They'll be back here in a minute, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Miss Spaz. Tell me how y'all feel about this case. Do y'all think Woody is snitch?
can proceed.
Your Honor, we're resuming at 11:29:05.
Where did he say he got the stuff from? He never said. Here's what happened. I guarantee. I mean, I look, bro. They put the gas in the truck, bro. I mean, bring it back. They bought the cover. When they bought the cover, they had out to the head. I left, so I still. I mean, I left. When I hit left, they was taking whatever they got. I mean, what is dropping back out where they came from? I mean, when she dropped back up, I was just how she just, there was last night. I want to show you these on a video of police cars. I ain't breaking no phone. I tell you about the question. No, if it's the yes or no, I'm not seeing you on the video. You don't see them, it's no call. You don't see them, you sure? Yeah. Okay. Because we found a police report. We found a police report on Foster Street, and these are victims, these two guys, IDs, whoever was in the truck. And they last shot, and we got the sunglasses and 2 book bags from out they shine out. At the shine out. This morning, the 2 book bags, they ain't need every night. They book bag yours. They ain't every night. This shit from these cars. You understand? That's when they shine out. Yeah. Man, sure. So you didn't say that they came in the house. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm not double talking, I want to talk to you. I'm being real clear, precise with what I said. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to let you give a little bit, and then I'm going to shoot your story out. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't lying. So, I'm not believing Tampa. Who? Tampa. Tampa, what? Bobby who? I put a bitch on there on my thing. You know what? Black my son, what's his name is? And say, Tampa. Just said it, Travaka. So once again, why is this stuff at place you were when you ain't bring me the content? I still left. I mean, I still left. I'm like, shit. They act like they ain't got it. I went really swim. I've been in the store left. I said, right about that, they trying to show me like, damn, bro, I ain't getting it. You know what I'm saying? I'm already retired, so I'm like, all right. They sure had all her friends up. They did furnish it. So she had all her friends up, but I ain't feel like dropping them up. So Weston was dropping their up. This was yesterday? Or late last night? Yes, this morning? Yeah. Okay, well, Weston was dropping their up. I don't even know she. You know what I'm saying? That's not true. Yes, it is. Hey, Sean said she was asleep when you got in this morning. Late. I'm telling you what she told me. That Sean was woke. I was mad because I'm just telling you what she told me. She said she didn't even hear you come in like she was asleep. That Sean did not say that. What the fuck I got a line of you for? What the hell she laughed for, bro? What I got a line of you for? She said she was sleeping. You came in super late. Oh, I just laughed. But she made shit I got a big shit. She ain't made it seem like nothing. At the end of the day, she lied. Like, she still got your life at the line. You fucking up my shit. You made it lie. Then you need to be focusing your energy on the motherfuckers on the street. Cause she the one that's been down for you since all this bullshit been going on. Right? But man, you fucked up because you know that. You fucked up. Nobody said, yeah, that shit, I'm on it. She don't tell the police, if y'all do anything, I need it. I tell you, I know I'm going down to the radio. I told her just like this. Once again, this is just the first report we had. That we were able to find was based on the IDs that was left in the truck. So some more shit come back involving that truck. You know we're gonna come back and have another conversation. And I'm gonna tell y'all everything I know. Like I'm saying, once again, you're enabling people to fuck you in the wrong way. You're enabling them because somebody doing something nice for you and they Sean, getting them a truck, doing the rental car, all that shit, and you give it to these dudes. Which I don't believe you say you wasn't there, but I'm gonna set it on to anybody in Buckhead got cameras. Everybody everywhere got cameras. And I'm gonna review that video. And that's gonna be the most evidence on.
Just like with the gun, we interviewed you and Turnerville. We told you.
I didn't say what I didn't tell you.
We told you, though. We said, y'all listen, bro. We gonna go review this tape. You ain't did that. You could. And if not, you don't see us again.
I wanted to say I had it, but I was like, he didn't tell me right now where you did what he saw there. Okay. You say no? I believe you right now. Until I got proof otherwise.
Well, you gotta start thinking about you, bro. That's what you better let her know I'm there. Why don't you leave? Okay, you that shine. Your pretty baby thinking that.
You know what I say? I thought like my shit could have gone. I had John, she put on yesterday, she found out supposed to be on child support. I've been thinking. She told me I could get this out. I like, yeah. She's like, I go out to the social security place, get proof of something, and I went out to get child support. She supposed to came out me today and took me down there and get my check, information, so I could go have it. Why do you gotta get a check? Do you have an able working body? It's sometimes, I did. No, this is what I'm saying. Fuck yeah, you get willing to do all that. I say a word says to have to school. I understand that, but you're a very intelligent young man. You process things, you think about things, and then you react. I'm gonna say that about you. You have an able working body. Okay? Get out of that mindset of
Depending on the chick.
I did what
Depending on somebody else take her, you and yours.
no, this girl is. Y'all don't understand what she's doing to me. She's trying to make it hard on me like she keeps trying to get her. She's trying to get no. Because I gave her money. Well, I had money, I can have her get a push. I paid for the whole thing. You know what she did? She said she's gonna get it. When I gave her money, she can't get it. I mean,
What's her body, bro?
I understand, but you know what I told her? To get her this money. This ain't no right now. I have no bullshit. I mean,
But
but she
when you lay it up, what if you had one to it, you know? So therefore
I didn't lay down. I didn't know.
when you cross that line, it was a touchdown, okay? And you gotta be a man and take responsibility for your actions.
I want,
We don't want this.
you know, the baby was my sister and stuff, but
You talking about the baby with that shot? No.
that's
That's baby.
yes.
But
No, the teenage didn't deal with what I'm saying is you didn't want that. And Terry's not throwing her like she not trying to just me too. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
because guess what, bro?
they pressure me like
She got
and you with that Sean and your baby that you wanted, family this, family that, she's envious, she wants that. You don't even want to claim you want that. Because I asked my abortion like that, she didn't give it back. I just felt like, so if she give you your money for your abortion back, you claim it back? I ain't no this was it. I live.
So this is when she was pregnant. She had needed that money to eat to feed that man.
But I didn't know that food stuff, so they do for the sex. But what I'm saying is,
Oh no. You did not just say that. That ain't never that. You was a young, all this energy that y'all using to do all this other dumb stuff, you can use that in a right way. So try to live a normal, peaceful life. You remember the last time I said, why don't you go to the black? What you tell me? I was raised in Atlanta, died there. That's your mindset.
but again, okay, put it with. So I gotta do it. Have you heard anything in shut up?
Not that we know of.
And you like you said, I know. Okay.
A lot of them have it, they are like, from Canada, that whole police.
Why not?
They know.
Because they have to go out.
They already know they gonna be out here, so it's almost like, why not? That's why they probably look at you like,
When they call for people involved with them, there's other people shit that get shot up. They call for me, but also something that's going to be, you know, whatever. That's how we connect guys. So they should show you that they shit ain't getting shot up. Because they shit is getting shot up. Because the neighbors call us like, hey, I'm conscious, what's that? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we're coming out, so I think she got it.
you know what that is? That's right.
She told me this on here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's white people stay right there. You think they're gonna sit there and let it let? I ain't gonna tell y'all, but you think they're gonna sit there and let that happen?
We can't say y'all, so you don't prove. Yes,
What is?
you don't fucking prove. When I was going on, the only two people I had was Shannon. You know what I mean? You know the difference?
question they came for? The one they came? Check my name. I respect you. You wanna know why? Because you stood all along, you stood tall through it all. Right? Like the last time. I felt when you walked down here, I thought, see New Jack City. When Nino came back on the back of the bike and they shot it up, I thought when you walked out here, I didn't want you to go. I felt I'm like, man, they gonna get out of that one, man. And every time you keep coming out, understand you ain't been shot. One time. We keep recovering. Drums of rounds, they just, and it's like God keep giving you an opportunity, you got it covered on, and you keep landing it up and telling, and instead of you saying, Tell, this shit is getting a little too real, I need to get on, you keep coming back for more.
was last time I talked to you. What, 2 weeks? Yeah, this is weeks.
That's you in the corner.
These two you need to be figured right now.
You fear them more than you fear them.
Because right now, this I just need help. If y'all come down and help me, I promise you, bro. I'll sit right here and tell y'all everything I don't heard, everything I don't saw, and everything I can tell y'all stuff that y'all go get. I think,
Are
like,
you willing to do that?
I promise I can do it right now to show y'all how I can talk with what everybody's about. I don't care. I just want y'all to
What do you
get
want?
it right there.
So now you ready to go. Now you gonna listen and go. But what?
I didn't have no listen. I can't eat, man. I can't.
If you stay, you're gonna be a man wrong. Okay? Everybody ain't on this. You can't trust nobody. You can't ride with nobody. You can't sleep.
I feel them. Go tell my feelings away. Cause they know how to get. You know what I'm saying?
You wanna know how they go? You know how they can get you? Listen. They'll be the one to put one in your head.
So I told them.
You wanna know why? Because you trust them. And they hurt your heart that you feel like he lied to you. You almost started crying. I said he was there.
Yeah, cause bro, I just see, bro. Like, I tell you, bro. You wanna tell me what I live about? You wanna tell me what I live about? I live about you. I do whatever it takes. And I tell you that all the time. Money ain't shit, bro. Money ain't. That we have to I say it, man. I mean, okay, when I do this money, I give a gap. This my books, I gap. I don't do the gap. I mean, I win, I lose. But when you just start asking for the deals in the cup, and a lot of the shit he doing, man.
And all that.
I just find out that these people gonna try to like today.
So at this point, what are you going to do?
So I just was good at that. Cause I don't wanna run and I already know, man.
I know you don't want to run the road, but at the same time,
I haven't done it. I promise you, I've been showing everything I love.
so dang, if you get on
So little things to me, man. Listen, man. So little been doing to me for the longest.
you don't want to.
Save it up. Every time I got here for probation, he had me go show something. Boy, you know, that can't be what was it. I ain't got that to do it. I ran right through it. I just want to enjoy life. I can't. Decided I get out again. Slow shit, I got shot. How the fuck is I even shit getting shot if I get up? Just like I said, the same night I got out of jail. You know what? D told me, that's good. Well, y'all, what D got done. No, D told me she went to the club by herself. Once she dropped out. I can't be here like, you know what I'm saying? They did, I mean, who you go to the club? He went to the club by himself, got dropped out. Like this one here. Me, my brother, my baby mom, and D went to the hospital. She got it right. So, and my baby was sick. So, man, my baby mom died. So the D was on his hand, and he was weak. He was sleeping and everything. Right. Hey, go one house, go to the club. D want to be hugged. For D nigga this now, no. D went to the club. 4 o'clock. My sister called. But they did jump D, but they beat time. I said, who? She said, man, yeah. I said, damn, what the hell? I mean, D, who you with? They said, nobody else. So I'm like, man, D already did love, man. They don't say pop hurt. I get on Twitter. D on Twitter, like, yeah, fuck, I'm good. So I ain't nothing wrong with it. So I talked to him through the DM. I bring Trevor, bro, what's up, too, man? You trying to see him, something, bro? He mad. So I guess he got mad. So I thought, he told him to say, Dad, I just look at like people.
Atlanta, Georgia. Do you understand that? In jail, as soon as the word get out, you were there.
But hello, I'm not going to jail. She already said that I can get no bond. I ain't.
No. I hope they don't put you in the dorm cell. Did you ever think about the word?
So what? I understand I think you're going to jail. It ain't about that. I just cut. I had participated in that.
This is what, the reason we tell you what we tell you is to try to show you a flag, like, hey, the time is now. So, you put down this pressure on yourself. You're trying to carry on the plate.
I don't mean, because I had a this, I'm teaching that I didn't participate in it. None of this. And y'all somebody keep telling me, saying like,
Nothing, look at it, bro. Nothing.
I had participated in none of this.
You a thing.
Huh?
You a thing.
What do you mean I'm saying?
You a good boy. You a good boy.
Hey, come to this.
Since January, we talked 6 months. You mean to tell me these dudes shot up your mama, your sister, they shot at you and your baby mama and your baby, and all this other jazz, and you ain't did nothing, mama.
Chill out. I don't want to be. They did it. Guess what I said? Guess what I said?
What?
Okay, anybody hurt. And guess what I said? Put my parents aside. Listen.
So you got it now.
You know why me and Shannon fell out?
What?
Because Shannon's like I go out there.
So Shannon is basically trying to redeem.
Yeah, like,
So you seen the movie Juice? He ain't never seen Juice? With Tupac? I can't even use this analogy.
but what I'm saying is, Shannon, me and Shannon get on at the same time because he came, decided I did something. And I had
Shannon
to
ain't standing for it. Shannon ain't standing for it.
You're not going for it.
Where's Shannon keep it around?
Shit on him.
So if we stop him, he gonna have to be on us.
That man got done every day. He gonna do that.
We don't want it. What else he did? What kind of car do baby got?
What kind of movie?
Car do baby got?
I ain't seen Lupin. I didn't know that I was Shannon. He be in a white club, Nico Club.
Why you know?
Bootleg, the DW or something like that. Who was it?
I found new baby car.
Nico. I seen Lupin. Nico got that red car. Like when they had red, they told their car, I don't know what kind of car she got. Let me ask you this, what kind of car you drive? Most of them are Grand Papa. A Grand Papa or a Malibu? It's a Papa. Papa. Who called that? Who's this girl? What's her name? I don't know the girl, but I know the name. Whose car is that? It's registered to him? Or like, well, you got license, so it should be registered to him. Because the first time I was to do a tree because the tree got her own car. They got the same kind of car.
She got her phone.
Yeah, great. I mean, I thought it was, he was like, I seen her like last week, and he said that, they got, you still do top trees. They got me, I seen her drive in car like, I thought she got her own car.
Where can your mama go?
Boulevard. I don't know if this came up, I think that he still, he's on Boulevard coming. When he was in the car, like, y'all ready to a Boulevard? Like, why? Y'all got ready to a Boulevard now. But then into a Boulevard. No.
They got one over there
Yeah, yeah.
on Boulevard Place.
I'm a Boulevard on Saturday. I said on Boulevard Sunday too.
For what?
Shout out, this little side street, that's my gas station.
Wabash.
Huh?
Wabash.
That's name of
What park is it?
they like with it, like 112 something out. But it's on the other, it's on side street, right?
Boulevard Place. Well, again, now, where they sit up for.
Yeah, they like it out here.
No, he's talking about Boulevard Place.
Oh. So, I told you I can hang with that. It was good, man. I did. Hey, you know what, Gary? Oh boy. I mean, if you was sitting in the car, and if you seen Shannon somewhere, you seen me move out there, I didn't know you.
regular life.
Yeah, no, man,
But that's
Chinese, saying that, it's just like, everything went, that means,
because now you have a physical room. Everywhere you go, that thing is on you. When you, let's say you get charged with all this, which I doubt, for 2 years, and they tell you gotta go do your 2 tail thing. What do you think gonna happen?
you have to go to prison, you can't, if you're convicted, somebody can have to just make the change up. I don't know why I do a little bit, I do a little man, I'm glad you mentioned that. I do a little bit, I'm stud, man, I'm glad you mentioned that. Because last Thursday, Mr. Ken Damage, U.S. Attorney, like the head person for the federal services. And I basically broke down to her everything that we had as far as your case, all the child shootings, all this, all that. All right? She said, you guys have great cases, but we need somebody with direct knowledge that can take down the main culprits. To us, I don't say you're not a main target because you are the target for them, but we want top guys that call the shots. I know you heard the term, we want the big fish. And sometimes you get to the big fish, you got to hang the small fish in front of them to come, for the fish to come. So, if that's something that you want to do, because our case is still with you, like it's not, of course we would like to, solve some of these retaliatory shootings and all that stuff, but as far as your case, at this point, you could. And the only thing that may possibly help you is you helping yourself by speaking what you know. Right. But you know what? That's not sharing.
He's on the same level as you.
Hey, I don't consider sharing the big fish. Like you said, he'll go. You understand? And that's the way he's less, in my opinion, he's less than what your status is. Right? I want to know what the fuck Thug's doing. I want to know what the fuck goddamn where his money is from. If they gotta get to Birdman, it was talk about damn Wade Buzz. I know. She tried to get his phone talk though. He would talk to you. He wanted to talk to me. I said, look, why you didn't call up brother against the dead? I said, that nigga kill me, but I didn't do the trying to have him come around. I didn't even you almost looked at it like a mama. I had cut. Yeah, I thought it would be famous. I thought it would get money, man. I ain't think this shit gonna good. Then Russell tried to get hang up. I don't know what the hell he even think, bro. But ain't Rocco cool with doing his jacket on ABG something anymore? So Rocco anyway. Look, Rocco was inside that dick with Blood J. Rocco got third. He thought so, that's right. So Blood J. pushed up on Rocco and we're done. Well, Rocco then had police up there and stuff. There was a deja vu. I know a lot, you know what I'm saying? But again, it's just that was just help me, man. I want to help you, but I think I want you help. I just want these niggas like at first I was like, man, they gonna do it, they gonna do it. I don't feel like no more. So when did this change? When I see my baby smiling, like you can take it right there first, like you see how sexy she is. That shit, that made me feel like
You got something
I
to
was
live.
never gonna let you like, hey, I'm gonna see y'all gonna talk.
That's the reason to live.
I mean, so like, just when I heard you gonna kill me, man, I know a lot about you. I know about your DVDA kill. You know what I'm saying? Like the nigga on Genshin. I heard about him now. You know what I'm saying? I heard him tell about his own mouse. You know what I'm saying? So I heard my name come in this shit.
You take this.
I know you got that. You know what I'm saying? You talk about no. You talk about gangsters got killed. The little nigga who lives here from the day. Oh yeah, like yeah. I heard about all this. You know what I mean?
Question is, what you gonna do about it?
What you willing to do? I really have to have these jobs to keep me safe.
You have to look at everything in the wind. This life, all this shit, cause it ain't no coming back.
So if you gonna help me, but you can't be going back and forth.
You see, you
That's
with
what
us.
I'm thinking for.
It's if you with us, you with them.
I'm not with them. That's this. You say that now because you're gonna do it. I caught up on you. I said it time. It wasn't from an unknown number. I found this phone. You had Russ.
What's enough?
It's 291. I can't remember the last one, but if we got to save this shot on the one of those. I can tell that. I mean, I call just let you know what it is this time. If you call me and I'm not in there, they break the stick out. You mean? I didn't have guns enough. Didn't I expect?
That's up on Smith Street.
Yeah. I mean, this same day you put that up. I mean, he just like, y'all gotta move. We ain't gonna do it. I already left after I even called somebody. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, but, you know what I did, man? This is like, keep me alive, man. Just out of jail, I'm still, I do whatever it takes.
I can't keep you alive if you're going back up there. We can't. Hey, I'm not old enough to be Jacksonville with you.
No, I had it covered with. I get what I'm gonna say with. Yeah. Okay, what I'm gonna say with, yeah. You know, you gotta shoot. I ain't gonna
I gotta use your restroom. I'm trying to hold it.
Anybody on the jury need to have a restroom break? I know we just got here. Are we on here?
the dollar.
So the king of Atlanta, yeah, I heard of the nigga G Prince. Doug said he gonna be the new champion in Atlanta. He got a lot of people to go through them. Who trying to do that? Well, he not taking no shit. Yeah, I mean, he not taking, Doug not taking no shit, bro. Well, nobody else cannot go by him. You know what I'm saying? Doug not taking shit, nobody.
I'm out of the beef for game.
The game nigga did shout out to Doug with Toe Shampoo. Sandro has probably saw that one.
Just give me the word.
Yep. And Doug don't know. Say something on GD. I think Nipsey. Just Hurst or something like that. He ain't baby. You know what I'm saying? He shot. I mean, I ain't here to play. You know what I mean? I just don't want to go to jail. I mean, I'm not to that. You gotta have to do that. Class jail. I said, you gotta leave shit alone. I told you that at the dump when we threw you in the turn the field. I said, at some point, you gotta stop, and you not. You thinking you're on listen to me, because $500 wasn't bad. You thinking you're on because you was doing so much, and now you didn't calm down a little bit, that you ain't doing as much, but you still doing shit. You understand? You still did it. I haven't listened to you. I understand what you said. I done what I called that. Listen, I haven't, it's not even like, guess what? I got out of jail. They come in and tell back. They come with it. They come with the justice. Which girl? They the one y'all got in the house with? They come with the justice. Like, I mean, they come to they kind of know. You know what I'm saying? They can't say, hey, but while you were in jail, you don't know what is happening with that girl. But what I'm saying is, I know they, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to take it over them. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not, like right now, I'm not trying to go to jail. I mean, well, the thing that you're going to jail for is what you did. You have possession of that gun when you know you wasn't supposed to. What did y'all try to do in the house? In the kitchen, in the kitchen room, right where you were. And you got, this we just going to sleep. Where did you get taken to custody? They told me call out. They knew. I was there on the floor when they came. They know about it. They had school. She opened up. They don't know that. They knew. I mean, so she said she thought I think they're on the door, but I was there on the floor, my hands up. I thought they would come in and get this. I called out. I mean, I didn't have a gun. I didn't know there was a gun in their house. I promise. Well, I got to go there. I know. But y'all say y'all can check with it. Can y'all leave the investigation before y'all check with it? Yeah. I'm not going to warn suspects that, but we gonna get, so you going to jail for the gun from the dump off. But we gonna go, like I said, work this Ariana case from Buckhead, where the laptop and shit was found at y'all say. And you just said whatever I'm out of it, we gonna work all that out. And then the other issue with the gun at the house today, we gonna work through all everybody got one. Everybody got it. Everybody. How many people now up there class one? See,
What truck, does been driving, please?
not looking at that I want to BMW, that's a nice car.
Well, who be driving that black out, Max like, with that, that F-150?
Oh, real, just 5 years, that's still a truck, but see, he wants some caviar the other day. Like, he seen me riding real slow, like, looking at me, you feel me? But I was close up on the truck, so I said, man, but the last car they sent me was this little BMW, you know what I'm saying? But they still a truck, though. But
What Pee Wee car is?
Pee-wee,
You know, he got you. You know what I'm talking about?
they talking about
You know which car I'm talking about?
the car that they sent shout out to, but
What car?
so
Do you think that Max will come in to say something?
I feel like if they're she's not gonna tell her girls first. She gonna tell everybody on her girls. So I feel like it's how to tell her up.
I mean, but she is scared, because some chicks ain't really scary no more. Like,
You know, she got a smart mouth, but she might not be, but Shannon, he feel adorable.
he fears Dora,
Why? He thinks she'll tell him.
and Dora is,
The other, her name, she good dress store on Instagram.
what is it? Good dress,
Yeah,
Dora.
yeah.
That's her real name, Dora.
I don't know her real name, like, that is.
And Robbie White got them eyes on her, don't she?
Yeah, she wants to be close. She got a smart mouth, like, I'll be around her now. She probably, cause she took my phone, she got one of me, too. I just like, I don't know if he trying to do it for real, but I didn't know he think he talking about it real, like, you know what I mean?
So Thug's basically trying to take over the city.
Trying,
Or he got the city.
yeah. They play a dirty game. Yeah, they play a dirty game over there, so I'm not used to this kind of shit. So I don't know what's going on.
You lost the young man.
Huh?
You lost the young man.
We wasn't ready like how they ready. They hang together and run each other hard. Shoot each other spot, they don't know how to beat each other up. So, but I said, I'll do it. A whole day to me, and this son don't get a hundred. That's the only thing they bought through, we get a hundred. I stay in the house. What you tell you, your baby, you ain't necessarily got people. Right? But I did. Like I said, I just feel safer with her. Like, safer with her. She said, for sure she gonna be a comfort zone. Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, I know she ain't gonna do nothing to hurt you. Like, she don't even know much. So that's why you say you feel safe, because you know she gonna be a nice kid. That's understandable. She got her hands on her like this.
I ain't saying that. I'm saying she know you about that action, so she ain't even gonna try me like that.
The lady just out here telling me, you been doing you, so I'm gonna do me. I just try to prove to her, but I understand. I mean, I haven't been messing with nobody. Like, I mean, I did. That's why I try to take care of him. But my fun part, as far as time, is the new baby and you know, they shine. I think when they shine your baby, yeah, I know my baby with they shine. She premature, so she's supposed to be born like out. But the other girl baby born in March. So the other girl baby is older. Yeah. I mean, so, but you were with they shine. Like, y'all in a relationship. Yeah. She had nice, but so I had the money then, so I paid the girl a lot, but she died, they shot my everything, but when the girl had a baby, she just like, hit it. I mean, I went to the DNA check. I told this young like, man, shit, baby mine, bro. Like, you gonna leave her with her? She got mad at her and everything, but I just tried. I found a lot of gifts and shit, you know. I just, when I knew she could find out, I just got them trying to take it down. Well, this is what we gonna do. Where do you want to be in Fulton County? Because I don't want you to be in regular door. Man, it's only just had me back to children, man.
Cause you like that.
I think you there. I think shit over all these things.
Do you want to get a general population? We put you in number 10.
How long been now?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You want to get a bunch.
I got to talk to the powers that be and see what kind of game plan they want to come with if you really trying to help yourself. Can you? I promise, I had all the years up the bar. I go with it. I can get something with a gun. I always.
Hey, you know it don't work hard like that.
Yeah, just being in jail, like that TV shit.
What did you think was gonna happen?
I think y'all gonna write you a ticket and say I come for guns. You know what?
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Well, I told you then. You didn't tell me that. I came in with this gun. Talk about. Listen, I heard you, but I just kept thinking like. Damn, I mean, so that's how I could say I think I feel. I wasn't dirty to have nothing in me calm. I was getting rid of it. When I think of everything, if you don't give an explanation and leave that to people to find out what's going on.
What happened when you walked in the door at the gym?
I walked in the door, right?
Huh?
Put the bag down.
No, I mean step by step before you got to put the bag.
Walked in the gym.
What's up, boy?
Yeah, everybody.
That is deep, boy.
I said,
Who did you tell you had that gun? what you think Lindsay gonna say?
And they keep showing people out, man.
That girl gonna come back and talk, bro. I'm willing to put money on it.
And we can verify from the time when you were in jail that you obviously couldn't shoot nobody out. But I guarantee you that gun will come back to the same.
Right now, I'm not.
But see, when I had to turn up, the gun never involved in that. Well, I'm telling you, you already stated on January, yes, I already on January 20th, when you got the gun, up until the first time you went to jail. So if something comes back between that point, January 20th, when you got it, up to the first time you went to jail, you're gonna eat that. Now, from the time you was in jail to when you got out, you couldn't have done it because you were in jail. Now that second one was about a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever. You was out. Something comes back within that month. With that gun, you gonna eat it. The second time you go to jail, you got out. You know what I'm saying? So what happened? Okay, put it this way. Okay, call it be tough. I gotta run because I'm tough. What happened? When the girl come back home, something that everyone I was in jail, and y'all see that I was the one who did. We need to do a little further investigation. Who did you get possession and gun? Shannon had possession, but already Shannon had possession of the deep. So both of them have to come in and say something.
Like a domino.
That's just how it works. Really, the gun's not come back on that because they already did that gun possession.
So you said that they told you, but do you trust them at this point?
That the thing got a fucking stick and they ain't in the middle of the war. Ain't gonna do nothing.
What do you think Cleveland Avenue little D said when he found out that gun came back to him? Well, that ain't it. I know either one they did. I said it's in his hand. So you guys can explain it to me. All I know is that Lucy put how much is there on his phone got shot? 20. So he ain't got a little more popular since then, right? So that number might have went up a little bit, right? When the word get out that what? What you think gonna happen?
We purposely had to put people out for because we didn't want certain shit. Just for preliminary here, because we didn't want certain shit. My son sitting there like this. For nobody's business. He just put like but just as he Carter told Shannon, the judge said they want their case off by the end of the day or some shit like that. Shannon them know that the G Carter told me all this. So it's what he tell me. So that's what I'm saying. Once they get out, that y'all for it, and I still say y'all because y'all. Y'all for that to go to I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all are very good. Since I been out, everybody knows it. I like it, like around with them, period. Y'all now, look, you know what he did? This is what he gave me though. Once, then he put my picture on his plate. I mean, it's like I was with him. Twice. So everybody kind of like, what the hell you doing there? I don't know why you put that picture up. They would feel me. I'm like, he tried to make sure I would do that. That's what you got. Yeah. This time. And then he just like, he put a picture on his show like that. I haven't spoken to him, said nothing to him, nothing at all. Not one word, nothing. I mean, I was in the club, I was right there and walked to the bed. I never said.
But in the streets, everybody still feel like you cool from them.
Okay, like,
People know.
because if some of these niggas do your game, they been seeing me a lot. Like, if some of them just be up, rest of them like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? They see me a lot. The ones, they got like the older guys, they kind of like, we have money, stuff like that. They know I ain't doing it. They know I got that to it. You know what I'm saying? They know what's going on. That's why I be around, only if you scared, I be around. You feel me? Like, see, all of this is that's how they got out. You can't, you know what I'm saying?
Right, that's the big one.
Yeah, so, but and them had, like, we had problems with them that flew. Yeah, like, just,
What you gonna have? What you gonna have from this point forward, basically?
should I told y'all about this, man? I gotta be real, man. Y'all gotta get to me, man. Y'all gotta lock the fuck up. Who do you need? I gotta get to it.
You the key.
So I hear y'all, but I mean, y'all have to. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like if you give us something to go off for, then see, you think you're doing a big bite, I'm gonna do my job. I ain't got a problem. But you're gonna have to be honest, and you're gonna have to say your role, how you know, like you just gonna have to put it all out there. Half truth is still a lot. But I know I'm saying this. I know a lot of people have something to say about this and stuff, but I know a lot of people been, and besides that, I mean, I know if I go to jail, I'll go to prison, man. Like you said, they gonna do me like they doing now, but I'm trying to avoid it. I mean, so if you just, I ain't trying to send in the jail where I was last time. So, yeah, I ain't trying to send out in that whole thing by myself. I'm crazy, folks, man. They let me out an hour, sometimes they let me out. I think, man.
You wanna go in the door? What if you go in the door if you're not safe?
I know they jump on me in there, but
What they jump up on?
Kale did.
Wow.
They say Kale walked one with a screwdriver. Say, and restaurant just beat him up. And he said he's up. Do you like your life in that? In jail? I know it did. I know it did. Even in Henry County. In Henry County. When they got folks down there, you niggas know me down there. I mean, you all over Instagram and shit. I know, right? I be stressed. I try to fight, I try to hide it, man. I can't do nothing. Like, I just went ahead and said all these. It ain't no use about to have it, right? Cause guess what? I can tell you everything, and can't nobody put me on no scene. I ain't done that to nobody. Can't nobody do that to me. I mean, I just know that if I just keep going, I ain't gonna tell how I can send it right to people. Man, I already.
Eventually you're gonna get possibly transferred over. She gonna come get you.
I just want to be in jail. I mean, I do whatever. I will. Why like I said, I go around to her. Like when she's like that's my top. I mean, I know it ain't that we get that in, but you know what I'm saying? I get it. I mean, I found out what the truth is, who he is, who he is. I just like and all that's great, but you know what bothers me? They done doing something. No, it ain't about them doing something to you. It's the fact you ain't gonna stay clean. Between time, I just said. Let's say just hypothetically speaking. I want to be real with you. One thing I don't need all this. I mean, one snitch, I one snitch. I ain't gonna come back. I don't tell y'all all these right here. I know I'm gonna ask like nobody else. I mean, nowhere else like what? In jail. So, you think I can try to get out here doing stuff? Man, listen, when I get out, I want to certain things, clean pictures up because I'm trying to prove that I'm a little snitch. I mean, right. I mean, there's pick him, is when we get harder. And guess what? When we get harder, I just go hang with him. I promise. From this day forward, man, I'm going to break no more law ever again. I just need help. And that's what it is. I just need that's what I want you to understand is it's hard for me to put my neck out there to say that I'm out for a person 100% when opportunities have been given to you several, I'll let you speak. Opportunities have been given to you several times by me to just tell me what it is. If I found out later, I'm gonna look at you differently. You know what I'm saying? So I can't sit here and say that. I'm not saying I believe what you say, but if it, just hypothetically speaking, we get to the point where let's say the U.S. attorney wants to wire you up, mic you up, or have you make some calls, do whatever. I can't fully say that I'm gonna put my neck out there to save you because you've not told me the truth too many times. But have I lied to you? Not telling the truth and telling half truth is a lie. But half truth is the issue. You said it up when you was up, or what? You said it in that? And you never asked me. You asked the other person to look up. And I said, well, when I looked up, you didn't say that about the gun. You didn't talk about everything. You didn't say nothing about the trucks coming out there. You didn't say that about it, though. You said, I know.
You did that. You did that. You laughed.
I know that.
You did that.
I'm not going to put my head down, but what I'm saying is, everything. Like when the police get me and whatever, I try to contact you. First time I couldn't call, I looked at you did see. The luggage you do that, I just was scared to ask you, could I be able to get to me? I just felt like if I could just go down and direction instead of just telling out everything. You make a statue with me, bro. So I was just saying, I just like, I just know you would have put me on the right track when I dropped you. No. I just want to just direct you a little bit, not just put a concrete on the hat. I mean, my name will be anything. I mean, you're going to be doing this, doing that thing. But now, I'm telling you what about this. But now, what I'm telling you now, I just said, I can give you everything you need to know. I just want to, like, you know, it's like, just help. I mean, if you can help me, I ain't saying because I'm in trouble now, but I really need the help. Like, I need it. And if you can help me, I promise you, I'm going to sit right here right now and give you stuff like, I'm telling you, I'm not just lying. If you want to catch that right now, I can tell you exactly how to do it. If you think they just anybody, I just want to help. Well, I got it. It doesn't work that fast. Like, you can't sit here and tell me something, I take your word, and I'm going to get one, we share later tonight. It don't work like that. You know that. I understand. But, I mean, I know, I'm not going to back out on it. If you help me, I'm not going to back out on it. And it's my word. Everything I done told you, if you can help me, I'm not going to back out on it. It's just the end of it. I just need help with it. And that's all I need. I don't want to just be left out there by myself. Like, and I get and I understand that. And if you willing to not only help me, but will help yourself, but help me in this process, I'm gonna help you get it done. I can put you in places with people that can make it happen, but you gotta be 100% true. I promise you. I ain't no, like, listen to me. Half truth is a lie. I'm gonna tell the whole thing. Half truth is a lie. Tell the whole thing. And if I'm not afraid to put my neck out there because you saying you're gonna tell the truth and you don't tell the whole truth and the half truth, all that shit, then I'm not like it.
And in due time, it's coming out.
And it don't always come out. This was a month and a half ago with this gun shit. But we take our time. I know the work case. I know. I just felt like, okay, I'll come tell y'all this. And y'all just go on go right back out. You know what I mean? So I just kept looking at like, but at the same time, I be wanting to edge y'all like, cause I mean, there's nothing wrong with help people help, but you can't have one for the end and one for that.
You can't play both sides.
all this year because of like, I wouldn't know they was help. I wouldn't know they going this way. I mean, I wouldn't be locked up, going through that shit. That nigga they never did. Man, what's chasing your dream through history? I actually was trying to, I was trying to be rich, like, you trying to get up. Then he was, then he hung up because he was happy. Now, the other thing about it was, like, he introduced me to a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think these people still remember my face. Like, but other thing about it is, like, the nigga just tell people, like, I'm this, I'm that. And that shit I wasn't doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't think you basically is for good. Yes, like, I just didn't do it. And then, when it came down to it,
You wasn't ready to do no cool shit.
he said, use me, like, he put my face on, but got you doing. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got with him, that was what it was about. You know what I'm saying? When I got with him, I'm just so excited with the shit I was seeing. You know what I'm saying? He seen it. And he just had me around.
You knew how you were your fire. That put the
You know,
hair in front of the rabbit and you said doing this to chase.
so and guess what? Right now, like, this nigga thug, he just, like right now, he just like, she wanted me to call her bad. He was itching. They don't call me 3 times. I mean, you know that? I call him on D-Way. I mean, I call him his sister. But they're going around and I'm red. I'm 16 and that. So somebody like, my books from there, don't want to tell
on that action.
Oh, I ain't scared. Yeah, you ain't no local, but I'm not.
And I don't believe you are.
You know what I mean?
But the story that keeps making us come back to this point is you keep telling it, and he just loves me so much. He takes care of me because, well, he takes care of you because you're his fucking dog.
They can't do shit around this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When they ask me, you know, he's on the bus. Y'all got me fucked up. That's how I think I am. Joe does this shit.
I was about to play there.
Yeah. Somebody just he changed his name.
I mean, he's flying over.
No. They just like guns this shit. Fuck all this, bro. I mean,
Man, y'all go.
he got us in this shit.
Y'all got yourself in this shit.
Yeah, that's right.
I let another man
Hey,
tell you. You a grown ass man. You got to stand up to you and yours.
honestly, all the reason he got me in because he put my name in his song and he had everybody say it like this. But you know what happened? I had him. Like, I never been no this, I never been no that.
What to do?
What am I gonna do for him?
Other than that, sometimes what to do. And it's like, oh, shit. I'm you.
So, I understand what
What I'm getting at is on the news, when you watch the news, it's a lot of bull crap, but it's a lot of truth in every story. Right? So, your name ain't just coming up out of the blue for no reason, bro.
he knows, man.
That's what you say.
Hey,
I think there's one truth in everything you say, but I think it's a bunch of bullshit in a lot you say.
I'm gonna tell you about him.
What?
I don't have to tell what I got to say shit with.
Well, he gonna be the only one, bro. He gonna look on how you want. So he figures that you tell it, you and the media how they doing that. So Shannon's like, wow, no, I got that. And y'all like, you know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna believe it. And I'm gonna make her be like, fuck you.
Yeah, three. Yeah,
Shot three.
yeah, shit. Huh?
It's always shot three.
Don't tell what I listen. Go eat shit, yeah.
Exactly my boy. I know.
But you want to tell you what?
What?
Shannon's over there. I mean, Shannon out to me, he took it around.
So Shannon basically knew you really wasn't truly about the action. He was, so he wanted to take the spot.
Shannon got mad because I realized it was over. So I mean, Shannon didn't have, he still got much proof.
What you got to prove?
Home ain't got no rent. I just raised my $10. You know what I'm saying? They went on 32 to a 10 rent for $800. That's crazy. You're not listening to me, man. I have no reason to lie. If I already told you that what did I say? What the hell I got left with them? You was correct. Let me see. Ain't no tricking nothing. I didn't, then he said, I'm just serious like that with that.
You don't want to eat nothing?
I'm hungry and I got blood for that.
Get the boys in all that. Get the chicken down.
I mean, so.
You eat it, you don't. You know, you did rice. Fuck it.
I just, man, I'm trying to boil all this. I mean, like I said, whatever y'all need me to do, but I'm not scared. I'm not scared to do it, man. It's not. I'm not scared to do it. And everybody say I'll do it. I'll go right into it, no problem, man. I need to.
We're gonna take a little break, brother. All right.
Your Honor, there's a 45-minute gap. And there's some certain excerpts here. However, we are going to fast forward and come back to those 45 minutes. What's in that 45 minutes? So right now, we're going to fast forward to 201-21.
Is there some issue or question about the other part?
No, Your Honor, but
Is there an objection? Speaking to your mic so everybody can hear you.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm assuming the state is saying that they're going to fast forward to the next time Mr. Copeland speaks. Is that correct?
he also speaks within this 45 minutes, but it's sporadic. And so we're going
Well, I think the jury needs to hear what he says.
okay, what we can say.
Well, I'm not trying to, this is the state's evidence, and I'm not trying to make anyone sit for 45 minutes, but I want the jury to hear everything that Mr. Copeland says while he's alone.
Okay, are you planning to play it at some point? You're gonna go back to all his little, everything he says in that 45 minutes. We just, yeah, as long as they're gonna play it. I don't know why they want to play it out of order, but whatever, that's fine.
Thank you.
You know what I do? But, I need no mistakes. Okay. Remember that? Carter. You remember my name? Carter? No, 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 no. Ted, Carter, something like that. Hey, Carter. Yeah, I remember where you live. Yeah, I know I ain't didn't say all nothing like that. Yeah, you got to do that. Well, I be cool. I understand you have a little bit more information. Want to say about Peanut, Murray now and all that. What you heard, what you know, what somebody told you, whatever. So, would you like to tell me? I just want to know. Okay. What you know about it? Who the shooters were involved? Who was in the car? What kind of car it was? Where they get it from? All that. Which one? However you want to put it to me, I want you to explain it to us. What little details Mickey I told you? I want you to explain it to this man. These
heard the guy like they killed. Well, he killed nothing. When you say killed nothing, I'm like, my heart said, who? You like, damn. And another guy in the car, he shut up. So we get around. How I really was going. But when he told me, I was already trying to get a hit away from him. So I'm on to FaceTime, he like, well, you know, old boy, they got shot. I just saying, boy, he just might not make it. I'm like, who? Like, nothing. I'm like, him. And he like, shit, well, you know, this is screen, out of pain, right? Man, nothing to do with it. So shit, I'm like, man, my head's burning, I got on him. So we fight behind him, we drop. We pull up his Asian first. So we pull up, tell me you didn't walk to the first car. I gotta explain how it was, because I ain't no color. So we pull up his door, I pull. When we first pulled up, Doug got out the front door and walked in. Doug got out the car. Yeah, I found out. You got to see a little nitro truck. And walked in the house, like walked in the little house. And the truck wouldn't pull it out. So I went Paul. So I'm trying. Now they got cut. And me not being cut. Now they got cut. And me did it. So I get walking in front, but those open in and they open side. So we walked through the side though. Shannon, yeah, coming like up the side. I was like, he got turned off my corner. So we all walk in. Everybody in here, everybody's real quiet. So we get up in the apartment we stay in was up. Goddamn. I think everybody heard you quiet. So I was getting shit together. Yeah, like he just like pack of clothes. Yeah, like, I mean, and then his social network. It's like, too much for the seat. You know, like, it was just quiet. Like moving. So, let me see. I think I left these up. Just like I left. I done got his shirt. So I put up the total with his shirt. I was like, she got the cover. She was our friend. She got the cover. And he needed to chill play, bro. She like, who? I told her. She told her. She like, what happened? I said, I don't know, DJ got a car like shit. But you know what I mean? They told him like this. So she like, what you gonna do? I'm fucking ain't gonna do. I ain't had nothing to do with this shit. She's like, yeah, you know, like, we all live gonna say my name. So I was like, I don't know. So we got a car. We go home. So we got out the car home. Then when we come, we got behind the red Camaro. Then when we got behind there, started following to the apartment. And then the other two cars made up in there, but we turned out, and then we heard a guy off of Clay Green Rock at mile. So I had got Moto to come get us. So Moto come get me, my girl, and the two of them. Diamond and Deshaun Diamond and Bola. There were three of them, and me and Moto. So I think I took Deshaun to Deshaun. I took her. She stayed with me. We dropped the other two girls off. They took it off. And one two one got his girl and his little boy. I mean, so we ran around and she's like, where the hell we gonna go? We know they can come out. I just told her they can fucking come. So they know everybody started saying my name. So when everybody started saying how I did, I said, one two like, hell no, what I gotta do? So they come to like, shit. Well, you know, you ain't do it, goddamn, this and that. So I'm like, I need to go down there and tell the people, no, bro. So I tell them to do it. I'm to like, shit. What do you say? Like, yeah, he's like, well, when they start screaming my name, I'm going out there. But long story short, so I called home, couple of home to home. And we're like, well, then they pulled up his time outside his house. They were looking out the window. They pulled up 3 cars, he was bad inside. So you took my care, they pulled up outside to her house. So when they sent outside to her house, I mean, I went to the house, but the place outside know, try to get moved to the foot and get me away from her. But I think his sister ended up kind of police son, but they pulled out her sister. Yeah. My own thing, she called. I know she said something about it. And when they pulled out, Thug had somebody pull up and drive him straight out of town. Is this a house that you talk about where they came out from? This in Atlanta? Yeah, it's on Sky House. So they the man came and drove Thug out. Nah, I'm so scared. We pull up at the house at Lennox. So we get to the house at Lennox, all his brothers and sisters do down there. I mean, and he just patient like he didn't know what to do. But everybody issue was screaming my name. And I just sounded like, I want to ask my I just can't do this. Like, I mean, what the hell is that? Somebody, I ain't want to do it at the time. I said, why not just stand there? And then, so you did not want to stay, you didn't do it? Huh? You didn't want to stay in front of everybody, you ain't do it? Why y'all saying my name? They weren't saying my name. They knew what was going on. I always know. I mean, everybody just in the street saying my name. Like, we did. I mean, so I was like, damn, what the hell? So when I heard it right around, I said, I was so scared. Okay, I left the house. When I left the house, he called. I'm scared for it. Somehow I was in Canada by my sister's house. And I got with me about, I was scared. So I called my girl home. And I called her, I was talking on the phone, and I was telling her what happened. Like, they just killed me, and I did. I had nothing to do with it. So she was like, man, I was talking for a minute. And then she was just like, well, don't go out on your own, just wait till the police chief. I was all right. And then when I got on her, I found later, I seen the ambulance at the police club flying, like going to a summer hill, like what she said. And then I found out when me and Kel, like when we let these go with each other, he told me he knew my girl. They shot my home that night. I'm like, is you at home? She like, nah. I like, okay, I've been trying to make sure you in that house. She like, nah, I mean, I'm out. I like, okay. I got to phone up. So I called her. I told her, like, hey, bro, these niggas know you stay out the house. They just left the house. My brother like, what the hell? I told him what happened. Well, they need to kill her, but he need to think I did. So brother like, he got to get the kid and get out the house. So when they got out the house, go ahead. Get that out. Don't leave. This is the same night. He got kids tonight. He's like, all the time. Thug called the man, like the people that driving around. He called him. I had the person flying around. He's a person, like, personally. So he had him to drive him straight to Burger King house. Like him, Thug, his sister, a girl, the other daughter, and Laura, and yeah, I think it was in there right there. All them go straight to Florida. So they went to Florida. Now, I said, you call right there, I heard it. Now, I mean, he's like, well, what you call out? I'm like, yeah, how you do that? You know what I'm saying? And everybody legal, like, I had the phone walk out. And when I walked out, I heard everybody got quiet. So you didn't want to, so you went back and talked. Yeah, I just turned around, like, I was on the phone, like, I mean, damn. They shot my girl in the room out. And when he told me to come down, everybody was just looking right there and there, be like, what the fuck, yeah. So I like, bro, I can't take that on me, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, yeah, I mean, from to bring me down. I got to cover right here. I come in here and talk to him. And when I leave, I got to cover brother. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to get caught up in it. It just, so who's in the car? That's supposed to be driving out, Peanut. This was legit broke the story down. He said, I think he was in the car. He was Sky. And he said, they rolled past the scene, nothing, standing outside. They went somewhere and changed clothes. Nah, that's what it was. I dropped Cindy D out the door house. I had went home my big room. And then, left and was rolled past nothing. You know what I'm saying? Did you roll past the shot? What do I look like? Oh, you're short, you like 50. So you ain't gonna see him, he'll be around. I find it. That's a lot. That's probably my book. I don't know if they still got this spot. They got a trap house. He got an issue out there. I don't know. Is it something nice? Is it something you want? Or does it doesn't sound like that? See, look, he's going, yeah, he shot a nigga out named Maddie. Maddie, M-A-L-I. I think two of them are gonna hit the go to Jack's page. So D told you this is all people on the phone. So he personally told me, yeah, what they told him? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's riding his coat with them. Yeah. And then, what they been doing, he got another coat. And they went this way, they went there, they went back to him. And then, out of the heaven, y'all pull up on Cleveland. And Ladina right there, they got something like they talking about. So they got the guns. They had two guns. A chopper and a handgun. They got the guns and put in the car. And they just been rolled off in the car. So when did Bentley pull up? You didn't take Bentley's name? Yeah, he was driving the white truck. He the one who took them to Chicago. I didn't say it. Okay. So they called Bentley after the shooting. Yeah, they looked where they were on Cleveland. The Bentley spot was on Cleveland. All right. So I guess they went through and straight to Bentley spot. And when Thug was at Bentley spot, they pulled up on Thug and they got a Bentley spot, they wiped the car down. And then he said, I don't know if it was Bentley. They had to be somebody, if it wasn't Bentley, it was somebody, he got the car, he drove left with the car. You know what I'm saying? And he left with the car and guns. And you know what kind of car it was? Like, it was an Infiniti, man. The Infiniti? Yeah. Like a new one? You know, was it somebody's registered car or was it a rental? It was a rental car.
What did they use to rent cars from?
Yeah.
Like Hertz, Enterprise.
I went with when he rented the car. That's what I'm saying. Which one was? At the airport. You stand in the airport, there's literally a rental car. I don't know which one it was. So you went with them when he rented the Infiniti? Yeah. He took Sunday back, got the Infiniti. He took the bag back and got the Infiniti. Yeah. You remember how long before the murder that was? Probably like the murder happened like about 2 days later. They did shit like this. Okay, wait a minute, okay. He rented the Infiniti after the shooting? No, 2 days before the shooting.
Yeah, some of the reasons.
Oh, huh?
Go ahead.
He had the Corvette, because great Corvette, yeah. He took the great Corvette back and got the Infiniti. He never he didn't leave the great Corvette. He told him he want to trade cars. And we got the great Infiniti, this because they detected. Like, I had video, see, if I had my own phone, I can show you video, I put on my page. But I ain't show the cup, I was just playing the music. At least I was saying the colors to the music. When I clicked it on the video on my Instagram, I ain't know. And they just like, don't take that video off the page. You know what I'm saying? That's how, I remember what they used. You know, was it nighttime or in the evening or whatever, y'all took the video off? No, when he took the bed back, we got it. He took it back in the daytime. It was in the daytime. He said, walk across the bridge on the airport, go on the platform, they hit top. He took it right there. They tried to make it, they gave him his pen. He got his pen. You know, he paid with cash or credit card, and how he paid. So he paid for the deal, he paid for the rental car. The Corvette. Correct. But he wasn't had a Corvette longer than he had. So I don't know how they think. But you don't know how he just switched Corvette before. Right. So he just switched out.
Well, really with no money exchange.
You ready to fund his thing or somebody else's thing? It was like, it was a lie. They doing a lie. Tell me it's a lie. Like how many people behind the thing?
But it was on the job too, after you break.
I'm right there with him.
y'all two.
What you mean?
When y'all went to do the switch out, it was you and just him. It wasn't no girl with you and nobody else.
Just me and Joe. Yeah. So Lil D told me all this after the fact. Yeah. When I knew the cup, I mean, I did. I didn't want to get in the middle of it. I mean, I don't know what all that. With the couples. I know that shit, so whatever you said, you should have been there, you slept out that hole. But you know, I did this and why not? 15 shots in my face, man. I couldn't remember, like, I already did, I thought it got worse. This is what I'm saying. Stop your mind, okay? This is what I'm saying. The reason why Kalen was coming after you, because they had no reason but to come after you. But you would have just went over here and, hey, this is what somebody told me, blah, blah, blah. Your name been cleared straight from the rip. Okay, straight from the rip. But understand this. Why your name came up like that? I knew before he found me in. I had to get it down so my name would come back. Like, because it's just the type of niggas they kill them. I mean, I never did that to these niggas. They don't need to do an investigation like us to say that you're guilty. All you gotta do is get from one fuck out there, you guilty. Okay, that's all it took, one person. Okay, then you had to spend 6 months. How many times have we asked you, did you have some money? A lot, you know. Okay, but yeah, I understand it's hard. Like, I know, but I understand this. But don't say it. I'm gonna go to jail, you know, go down there. I'm gonna go to jail. Then they gonna jump on me. I ain't gonna lie, I take care of it. You know, you already take care of it.
You don't.
Trust me, we already take care of it. Okay, and understand this. You gotta face what you've done wrong. I didn't do that. Okay, stop that. Stop that. How old are you, Mr. Cole? 23. Okay, you're 23. Okay. By legal statutes, you're a grown man's man. And one of the things I learned from a young man, shit, the wrong school, you tell me, bro, a man stands up to his own fucking mistakes. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's my fucking fault. I'm gonna own up to it, deal with it, move the fuck on. You keep receiving back to a 10-year-old. It's everybody's fault but mine. I'm in this situation because it's everybody's fault but mine. I don't want to confront it because, whatever. You get what you gotta get. Okay. If they said they were third of your life, you know what I'm saying? Well, I tell you what, anyway, they gonna steal and try to keep it on me. Like, I really didn't have anything to do with it. People are coming at me like I did it. And once I tell you from the start, I'm here to either prove or disprove you had something to do with it. But you never gave me anything to disprove you had anything to do with it. Understand that? I'll tell you what I mean. I knew it. When I went with doing to get it caught. They know I knew I told you. So I feel like, I know you rather your life is, and they keep living far, you know. I know it like that. It been 10 times I was like, man, I can't go to this no more. I couldn't sleep by time. I was like, I didn't want to tell because I knew. I did it. Everybody on my page, you gonna be a lot of people coming out. Okay, loyalty is a two-way street. Right? If motherfuckers don't show you no loyalty, you're not gonna have no loyalty back to it. Okay, they pretty much put you on the branch, and that's your ass out there. And when I realized they know me out there, I went there and did one of those nights. Now, you know what I mean? But they were giving you cruise then, but you didn't want to pick it up. You didn't want to see that because I know what. There's dude, you got the shit on your armor. Okay? There's dude, I went through some shit with. We popped it to this day. Okay? Them motherfuckers are loyal to me. I'm loyal to them because guess what? We never pissed at each other for cornflakes. Okay? But they gonna piss at your cornflakes and shit in your food. They don't give a fucking rat shit about you, dog. They really don't. They're all about themselves now. But you're right. If you would have got taken out with your girl and your child, they would have shed a fake ass tear and won't know about their fucking business.
The VIP movie.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, what we going about?
Yeah, I know that. I know that everything, but I keep saying, but what I'm saying is, yeah, Met a couple of girls, right? Yeah. They won't. Where at? Which side of town? You know that? Yeah. What's that? No. Which side of town is this girl? She get in trouble. Southwest. They in the car. They got caught. See that? They kicked out this girl. They did. Yeah. Damn right up. I know. Look at me, Mr. Cole. Mr. Cole. Raise your head up. Raise your head up. And yeah, I'm worried. I can only imagine. You've been public enemy number one for 6 months now. Folks, you doing all of that, and you still got that loyalty, or you held on to that loyalty to these people who basically, in a sense, have turned on you, or pushing you aside. And you haven't been, you didn't tell on them. You know what I'm saying? And you still hold on to that loyalty. It just comes to a point where you gotta stop thinking about them and think about you and your family. I ain't thinking about them, I'm thinking about them. That's the thing I know. You know, I actually, man, I did this other than the Henry County Jail. There's some days that somebody ain't do. And I think, I hate being away from them. I think about them more than anything. Man, my grandma shit. Man, I shit right here. I go to a lot. I hate being in jail. I understand I did stuff, but I didn't do it because, I had to. Mr. Cole, look at me. You're telling me right here, right now, I'm not a bad person. I just got caught with doing some dumb shit. That's basically what you're saying. I understand that. Okay? I'm not living life with a fucking angel. I'm not even pretending I am. Okay? I'm not even pretending I am. I'll probably be in hell before you. Okay? But I'm not here to judge you. But I just know one thing, you don't want to do nothing to a fault. Play this up. Like the Dedicated said, you have to be public enemy number one to protect them all the way through. Not at one time they say, yo, dog, let me help you out of this. Send you here, you send your girl there, do this, do that. They left you out there and left the motherfucker continue to come after you. They're not trying to say, don't run with your all there. Only that, doesn't do it. Now, one time, all you took was what the other brother said, one time. Oh, yeah, doesn't do that. Walk was with me. Over here doing this, doing that. People would took that shit for a grain of salt and ran with it. Yo, man, why you don't even come up? You gonna be at the studio on cut the track. How can he be over there doing that? He's trying to come track with you on no stuff. But no, they put you out there and left you out there. When all this shit was going on, he wasn't going to put the young man, go ride with you, no matter where you go. How many times they get a call with you and say, yo, go ride with me? Because they leave you out there to take the full brand for everything. See, they know I've been saying, but they can't. Everybody know, like, so you said it right there. They knew you couldn't say anything. They knew you were not going to be one to just start talking. That the whole weight of the universe had to fall on your fucking shoulders before you even start opening your mouth. Because you do the dance around game. You do the dance around game. That's what you do. And they knew no matter what, this dude is loyal. And he's going to keep on doing what he needs to do. But in the meantime, everybody goes about their business. They left you out there. Thug gave a damn about you. He throw 20,000 in the club, do this, move you and your girl away for a little while. I ain't saying because you love Atlanta, you're going to come back to Atlanta. But it's hot right now. Move you away. Did they do that? Did he give you money to y'all find? Did they do where y'all stay? Because y'all still in the same spot. Did he put y'all up in another spot? One second. Look at it. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Can you be honest or whatever? At any point in time, that day that Pino was killed, did you go by that barber shop? You know, Daniel Street, I left out the Street, whatever. I left out the house. I left out the house right before I got killed. I was in the house the whole day. I was sleeping. I left out the house. know what I'm saying? He wasn't a problem. But I don't know what he I knew it was something perfect between him and Chris. I mean, but who was supposed to be with I don't know. I never heard it, never found out. I just knew that, like, one day they told him to come to the studio. He told me, stop waiting on the city. I mean, he stopped going up there. So then on, I didn't feel like you never do. Anything else you gonna have, but you don't let me chest down. I just
All right, it's probably a good time to break for lunch. All right, so let us come back here at 1:30.
I step out.
Yes, be back at 1:30. All right, is there gonna be anything we'll need to take up in the interim? I'm not in that, like, not right now, but do we need to come back a few minutes early? Anybody? Okay, all right, then we'll see everybody at 1:30. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys. They on break right now, on lunch. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be back once they get back.